So first we have Milan, and that is led by Professor Mary Alice Torres McDonald and by Tara Mayer. Where are you, Tara? There's Tara. She's over there. All right, so Mary Alice.
Thank you. Afternoon, everyone. Who pulled an all-nighter last night? Tell the I thought you all were going to raise your hand. So I run the Houston program, and I teach in urban and community design. So I'm really excited about being a part of the Italy program this year. And you all know Tara, although those of you in El Paso do not. And so we want to welcome the El Paso students also. I guess, welcome to Lubbock by way of Italy, is how I would put it. So first I'm going to tell you about the program, the approach that we're going to take for this particular study abroad, and then we're going to wrap up with a video for you to just kind of give you a flavor of what's to come. So the best way that I describe what we're doing is that we're going to approach this program by looking at it as excavation of the city. What I mean by that is we're going to look at city layers, and then we're going to respond to those layers as we understand better the extractions that we make. We're going to take a look at how we're going to deal with the city that we're hosting. Now, our host city is Milan, and many of you may wonder, like, why did you select Milan? Because, of course, there are many very well-known cities in Italy. Well, Milan's an ancient city. And it isn't just an ancient city, it's an ancient city that loves design, and it loves everything about design. It loves fashion, it loves product design, graphic design, and of course architecture goes with that. And it uses design as a mechanism for identity. And it's through this lens that Milan becomes a laboratory for us, a way for us to better understand the complicated relationship between history, technology, and design. Those are three important aspects to this program. We're going to take 3 excursions. So one excursion will take us to Venice, to Verona, and to Vicenza, the 3 V's. We're going to take another one to Florence. And those are our shorter excursions. And then we're going to take a week-long excursion, and that excursion is in Switzerland. And there's a particular reason why we need to include this. That's going to include Lugano, Valls, Zurich, and Basel. The itinerary that we've laid out is here to really support your coursework. So when we talk about the studio components, we're talking about these many layers, right? But the important thing for you to understand is that they're there to serve as alternative observations about architecture and place that gives back to the studio project. That's a really important piece to this. So we placed the itinerary in the way that we did very strategically because we need you to be exposed to certain things as we move through our design studio work and the 4000 coursework. We're going to explore the relationship between history and contemporary expression as a way of setting the stage for your design proposal. We're going to lead you to explore the urban fabric of the city, how it has evolved over time, how we move about it, and the way in which buildings situate themselves in their context. We're going to lead you to explore the urban fabric, how it's evolved over time, how we move about it, right? And we're also going to explore the historic and contemporary built environment. So Milan becomes really important in this particular situation. We're going to pose questions to you. We're going to ask you to investigate the cultural, historical, and technological relationships that are within each of these cities. And we are going to refer to our city, host city, as a temporal city. And this becomes really important because our methodology for teaching is based on the investigation of temporality through movement, through time, and through place. In the studio practice of both of the courses, you're going to explore, document, and experience. You're going to analyze, extract, and then you're going to reassemble. And you're going to do this through a public realm design problem that's going to be led by probably the most visible thing that we all see about cities, which is movement. The experience of movement through multiple modes of transportation, shapes, and the urban infrastructure of the city in turn shape how we experience daily life. We're going to look specifically at public spaces, and we're going to look at how these public spaces are created by infrastructure, their rhythm, their patterns, and how they impact how we experience the city. And then we're going to exercise a method of macro, medio, and micro as a process for this understanding, always moving in and out of our observations. More specifically, we're going to explore infrastructural transit moments in a site that's complicated. It's filled with exciting opportunities to respond to place as past and place as the future. And our site is an extended site. It's one that grows as we understand the complexity of connections between city components, between static moments, between ever-changing elements of the city. Cities don't exist in static nature. Cities are dynamic. So every moment is a dynamic moment, and we're going to really focus on what that means. We think the best way of understanding it is to dissect and catalog, and then extracting layers, both horizontally and vertically. So this is important to exploring the city because we're going to look at it in plan, but in section and perspective. We're also going to do it in many other ways. So through the lens of a camera, through figure ground studies. Everybody's going to have their camera with them, we know that, right? Through diagrams and digital manipulation of each of these forms, we're going to unlock their potential and the future readings that are possible. In particular, the 4000 course is going to emphasize producing dynamic documents, both video and drawings, and these will become a component of your studio analysis. So you'll be able to work off both of these courses both complement each other. They're also going to serve as a standalone expression. So the 4000 course is a specific standalone expression of the temporal city. So where are we going to go and what will we see? Well, we're going to show you a video and that'll kind of speak for itself.
And I apologize, this is the cheesiest video I have ever made.